You are now watching
The Creeping Lemur, a man who ruined his career making some god-awful decisions in a 3-day motel stay with his ex-girlfriend just 2 months ago, has made a return. In what was probably the worst way he could have, firing shots off at his former friends, allegedly bettering himself despite appearing more unhinged than ever, losing over 600 subscribers from 2 videos despite claiming the lemur is on the come-up. We even get some more minimizing of the awful things he's done. Truly, the last week or so has been so eventful in this sphere, it's crazy, but let's dive into the genius that is Lemur and his strategy for avoiding that McDonald's job app. First though, if you're unfamiliar with his original allegations, I'd recommend Mayor Menace's video on it, but following that, we had just about 2 months of silence from the guy, and I truly thought he had seen the writing on the wall, decided his career was cooked after the allegations and a subsequent fumbling of any sort of apology in the 2 sorry videos where he tried, but no, after 2 blissful months of quiet, he had enough. He saw the multiple videos Menace had put out continuing to criticize him after the fact, maybe he saw one of old McGrubba's creep critiques, but who knows. One thing I can say for sure is the straw that finally broke the camel's back on this was Mayor Menace giving everyone an update on the stalking Lemur had gotten up to a month before.
There's also a lot of shit that just is untrue and it just isn't backed by any evidence. And I'm sure anybody who's watched any of these videos can see that there's literally zero evidence in any of them. It's all hearsay. And I feel like I keep saying this over and over again, but people seem to point to nothing. They point to somebody else's video who uses clips that are hearsay. Like shit, I didn't even know this was happening, but I went to check the comments on my YouTube channel just to see what people were saying. And somebody was talking about how Mayor Menace was making a video about me exposing me like 4 days ago. I go to check this dude's video and he's already opening the video up by being like, yeah, this is shit from a month ago.
Yo, what's up guys?
Now first of all, the biggest point he can make in his response video is this. Glossing over the topic, we don't get a denial, just a big, "That's old news, you feel me?" out of the guy. And I mean, if you really need the in-depth on this, I'd recommend the Menace video, but the cliff notes on that situation, I believe, was the fact that this girl teeth gums, too young to buy alcohol, that some awful things have seemingly happened to in a hotel while drunk with Lemur, had been added by him on Snapchat, clearly shown here in this screenshot. This mystery guy was in her contacts, has the same Lemur name as her contact name for him in all the screenshots, and as a quick little side note, Snapchat will auto-change names for contacts like that for you, I believe, but old Gilberto thought he was so slick, pretending even after she sent a photo of herself to jog his memory, he would go on to play stupid pretending he had no idea who this girl was. I mean, you guys can tell in these screenshots, a real 10 out of 10 acting display here. Maybe the guy has a future in Hollywood. He could be just like his idol, Bill Cosby.
Somebody did a mural of Bill Cosby on my front door. A mural of Bill Cosby.
Point is, it's wild he's glossing over at this point that despite completely ending his career with the shit he did to that girl, he's still obsessed with her, still stalking her, and just like very clearly in his first apology,
Now tell me why this makes sense at all. I didn't do anything. We broke up. She said that she did not want to be with me anymore. Actually, let me tell you what happened, because she seems to make this whole thing, I broke up with him. She never broke up with me. That's the thing. Like, I mean, I guess she kind of did. Like, she kind of would make it seem like she wanted to, and then she would come back and be like, I miss you. Let's get back together. I miss you. Of course, me being naive, I'd be like, oh, maybe I should forgive her. She did this up until the day that she's seen that dude. So I don't know. Are you watching? I hope you're watching here, pal. I'm gonna tell you right now that the morning before she's seen you, the morning before you guys went out and ate, or you did whatever you did, I'm gonna tell you right now, she was texting me like, telling me I want to get back together. I miss you. I wouldn't be opposed to getting back together type shit. So
seething over the fact that she isn't crawling back to him after all this. You could try to argue that this isn't enough to truly believe that she's still on his mind. I really believe he is, especially with the following I have to show you fellas. You see, Lemur keeps his subscriptions public, so of course a grubba is gonna take a little peek into who he's still subscribed to after all this, and wouldn't you know it, he's still subscribed to Teeth Gum's channel on YouTube. And of course, just to be clear, this does seem to be her account, with this comment she made under his recent video reading, "What did you do? You assaulted me. You abused me. You were insanely controlling. You said slurs all the time, whether it was the N-word, whether it was the R slur. You lied about being black to your fans just so you could say it, yet you're focused on your old videos. Please GTFO." Real weird of you, Lemur. Moving on, however, the topic of the first video was essentially him coming back, guns a-blazing, trying to build a ruined public opinion of Chilla, like he had some huge slam dunk, and split some friendships because he felt like it was only fair. In doing so, really showed the kind of hypocrite he is at heart, because at some point in his first 2 apologies where he stated his shit talking of his friends was probably, in his opinion, the worst thing he had done in this situation, which, wow, holy regard. So of course you'd think he'd still hold that conviction, that he still feels bad that he talked down on the people who were supposed to be friends of his, people he'd collab with, people who, for the most part, until all this went down, publicly only helped him in his career along. And that in this journey of bettering himself, despite being disavowed for very obvious reasons, he'd at the very least understand why no one went to bat for him. But no, he digs up a situation from the past where a slur was used and tries to drum up some sort of drama. And really all I have to say to that is nice try, man. Not only did the community he tried to use to attack Chilla come back in the comments and give bro the pass since he apologized for it, but we'd see everyone highlighting the fact he used the big slur, the N-word, all the time, and he dropped it in public on stream. Not only did he not apologize for doing that, but lied about his race so he could avoid any sort of flack he would have gotten for using it, which really highlights the way this guy goes about handling controversies. Not like an adult, but he runs and hides, minimizes and lies in order to avoid truly taking responsibility. And he'll very shortly prove he hasn't changed. He's the same old shitty guy.
Anybody from talking the shit that they talk. And at the beginning, some of it was warranted. There was a lot of people who were giving me criticism that I actually took to heart. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You know, if I'm going to be talking shit about Nova's weight, I definitely should be worrying more about mine. Like, I should be a lot more conscious about what I'm doing. So I've started to eat better. I've started to, you know, work more on my health. And that's a good thing.
Like, he claims he's been working and bettering himself this whole time, getting healthier, but then it's all downhill, proving otherwise from there. Attacking his ex-friends because he's feeling spiteful over the fact they turned their backs and talk shit on him after this situation. But again, you can't blame the man. Look at the bed you've made for yourself, dude. Just lay in it. Not only that, but the way he goes about attacking them, it really proves he couldn't be in the worst mental state over all this, despite what he wants to come off as.
It's a major reason why I really don't give a fuck about coming back. All the stupid ass shit that I've done is already out. It came out. My time is over. You guys, it's done. You aren't going to get any more out of me. I'm working on myself as a person. I'm not going to be doing any more weird fucking online relationships. I'm talking to people in real life. Like, I was a fucking idiot. I was an idiot doing some kind of weird online dating with somebody who was a fan. I've already said this a million times over, so I'm not going to rehash it and start being like, I'm sorry, because you've already heard it. But everybody already knows this, so there's no point in hiding anymore. I don't plan on doing any more stupid shit. I did what I did. It was stupid. All my shit came out, and now I'm going to move forward. And then I'm going to wait as these people's shit starts to come out. You know, once Major Chilla slips up, once fucking Mayor Menace slips up, and then I'll be there. So don't trip, because best believe that Chilla will do the same thing that he did to me, to you, Mayor Menace, to you, Morty, to anybody who's close to him. He'll do the same fucking shit. And when it happens to fucking Major Chilla, Mayor Menace is going to be there making videos about him. Like, it's just a matter of time. Trust me, I know all these people. I talk to them in the group chats. They all have their issues bigger than mine. You'd be surprised. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all human. I'm not using that as an excuse to be like, oh, you know, I'm just human. That's why I did this. No, I was a fucking idiot. But my point is that we all have our flaws, and they all come out one way or another. And those motherfuckers have some pretty big flaws.
It's just a matter of time. That's a crazy quote in all this. Not only is it weird he could try and equate raping a girl to literally any other controversy as wild. Maybe that's why we get all this minimizing out of the guy. This whole situation where he got this girl drunk is completely normal in his eyes. Of course it's only a matter of time. Clearly everyone else does this. Freak, bro. It goes to show that despite this whole front of spending months now bettering himself, he's the same old lemur. And touching more on that mental state and the minimizing he's done, we've got this.
The same shit. You know, when people find out that Major Chill is a fucking alcoholic, right? When people find out that Mayor Menace is fat, that shit isn't gonna look as good on them. And I went through the same shit. It happens. This niche is unforgiving. And there's certain things that they do, like as far as policing, that's very well. They police very well, but they also over police in this niche. They over police. You can do something very little and be casted aside because, you know, you did something cringy. I'm sure you guys all have your personal shit that, something weird that you're into or something weird that you do, because it's only human. But in this comment section, you'll sit there and be like, I don't do that. I'm not this way. I'm not that way. I'm not fat. I'm not ugly. I'm not this, but you just might be. Trust me, it's not just me. You're going to sit there and in the back of your mind be like, oh, but it's not my favorite creator.
Isn't that wild? We could be cast aside for something very little, calling everyone hypocrites, yet being the worst of it himself. He got done talking about how some people had valid criticisms, at least in the first video, and then starts yapping about Menace being fat despite being pretty big himself over and over, calling Chilla an alcoholic despite having ruined his own career, drinking too much, and assaulting a girl. With how awful his first two response videos to all this was, these two comebacks have only just made it so much worse for him, talking about how the worst of it is over. He thinks things are about to start coming up. Lemur. But they won't. People are for sure going to continue making videos on him. I for one will, considering he just fanned the flame. And he's just now following the lolcow blueprint to a T, calling everyone else the problem, continuing to post despite 99% of the internet wanting him gone. It's almost reminiscent of Cyrax ranting and raving about William Glory Hole and John. With the way he's yapping about Menace and Chilla, it's wild. Following that Gilberto lolcow pipeline narrative, we'd find that underneath this wonderful comeback Gilberto put out for us, we'd see Nova Online commenting on this video. The fact this jit Lemur thought it was a great idea to come back was bad enough, but here he is, yet again, now in the midst of one of the most damning set of evidence, proving Nova Online is a PDF file coming out, giving Nova a dub. The chome doesn't deserve to get a one-up on anyone right now, but even the diaper diddler is dunking on you now, dude. Come on. And how would the best YouTuber of all time respond to this, you might be asking yourselves? He would invite bro to do some karaoke with him. You can say this is reach all you want, but I think he's desperate for views, desperate for money, and much like a lolcow, will just revel in this ridicule now in hopes of profiting off of hate watchers. And what better way of doing this as someone viewed by the public as a rapist, an abuser, an assaulter? Why wouldn't he want to associate himself with a proven PDF file? Joke or not, I don't care. It's a god-awful look entertaining this on top of it all. And you know what, maybe we just might see that. Under Mayor Menace's post about covering the situation live with me Monday, we get the chome, instead of celebrating all the hate on his previous biggest op of all time's downfall, he would tell Mayor to essentially shut the fart up. Maybe defending his new livestream co-host? We'll just have to see about that. Anyways, that's all old McGrubba has for you now on this whole creepy Cosby comeback this guy's tried to make to YouTube. Remember to go show some love to Chilla, Mayor Menace, Morty, everyone that this creep came out of the woodwork to shit talk once again. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to unsubscribe from the creepy Lemur. Don't be harassing his family. That isn't cool too, I forgot to mention that. Only one of the 9 lemurs at that residence made some girl spend 5 nights at Lemur's. The family doesn't deserve all the harassment. Like, who goes and shits on someone's lawn? That was wild to me. Well, leave a little like and maybe subscribe to a grub if you enjoyed today's video. Of course, you'll hear more from me as things develop. Later, grubbas.